Hey everybody, welcome to my blog. My name is Joshua Clemens Tamadara, B Scream 1 Section 2. Okay, let's begin. We are going to discuss about the gospel message. In 1 Corinthians 15 verse 1 to 4, the word gospel means good news, which is the message of forgiveness for sin through the atoning work of Jesus Christ. It is essentially God's rescue plan of redemption for those who will trust in His divine Son in order to be reconciled to a just and holy God. The essential content of this saving message is clearly laid out for us in the Bible. In the Apostles' Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, he lays out the content of the gospel message. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received and on which you have taken your stand. By this gospel you are saved, if you hold firmly to the word I preached to you. Otherwise, you have believed in vain. For what I received, I pass on to you as of first importance, that Christ died for our sins, according to the Scriptures, that He was buried, that He was raised on the third day, according to the Scriptures. In this passage, we see three essential elements of the gospel message. First, the phrase died for our sins. It is very important, as Romans 3 verse 23 tells us, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. The reality of sins needs to be acknowledged by all who approach the throne of God for salvation. A sinner must acknowledge the hopelessness of his guilt before God in order for forgiveness to take place, and he must understand that wages of sin is death. Without this foundational truth, no gospel presentation is complete. Second, the person and work of Christ are indivisible components of the gospel. Jesus is both God and man. Third, the resurrection of Christ is an essential element of the gospel. The resurrection of the fruit of the power of God. Only He who created life can resurrection it after death. Only He can reverse the hideousness that is death itself, and only He can remove the sting that is death and victory that is the graves. Finally, the Christ offers salvation as a free gift that can only be received by faith, apart from any works of merit or on our part. As the Apostle Paul tells us, the gospel is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. The same inspired author tells us, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved. Then are the essential elements of the gospel: the sin of all men, the death of Christ on cross to pay for those sins, the resurrection of Christ to provide life everlasting for those who follow Him, and the offer of the free gift of salvation to all. That's all. Thank you.